What's up, everybody? Straight to the point. All right. I know I'm up early. If you up with me, definitely go ahead and hit the like button as you come through the door, and also hit them notifications so that you're able to get all of my content as well as all of my videos. I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting this platform. Thank you for the love that's been shown, and thank you for the growth. All right, let's go ahead and get right to it. What's up with it, my guy? Chad, what's up with it, bro? All right, let's get right to it. Now, Charles Barkley, who seems to be making his transition uh, out of TNT onto just various media platforms that you can see now. I want to say this before I get started, right? I know, the public isn't stupid. Is doing he's making his transition into doing other things. Okay, so let's just go ahead and put that out there. All right. Um, I'm gonna be real with you. The interview that he did with Gail King, having Adam Silver, Commissioner Adam Silver, on there, I thought it was must see TV. Okay, a lot of people really didn't see it. I know a lot of people don't really mess with CNN like that, but me myself, I had to see it. Okay, it was something that needed to be seen because the people want answers. Okay, guys like myself, like the brother Ticket, the brother Too Raw, 78. Um, sports and fitness rants, Dreamers Pro, you name it, man. A lot of people are really disgusted with how the NBA is, what type of product is being put out there, and the fact that Charles Barkley um, had pressed Adam Silver to to pretty much explain why the NBA is the way it is. I thought it was great, but you still really couldn't get any real definitive answers from uh, Adam Silver because he's not a basketball guy. Okay, we have to understand that Adam Silver is not a basketball guy. What Adam Silver is he's more of a marketing guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a trending guy. All right, he doesn't understand the game as well as David Stern. I want to send a special shout out to the brother Carcino for life, man. Salute to him because he said a lot of things. I had watched some of the stuff that he was saying in regards to Adam Silver, and he was right on key with everything. If you go back and you go look at the previous NBA, you'll see that there was a lot more competition. Okay, in terms of it being competitive, pretty much year round. It was people took pride in actually showing up for games and actually fulfilling their duties. Now you could look at the product now and you could see what's up with it, Alex. You can see that a lot of people they're disgusted with what's going on. Hell, at one point, the women's college basketball, NCAA now, was kicking the NBA's ass in terms of ratings because of the passion, because of the hard blood, sweat, and tears. They seem like they really want to be out there. They really want to give the situation that's going on with the domestic violence and stuff. I'm not gonna touch too much on that, but he had pressed him about that. But mainly, what I wanted to talk about was how Charles Barkley was really wanting to know answers. Adam Silver said this though, that it's not even really concerning. More so, I should say that you should understand this. Okay, he said that 75% of the viewership comes from outside of the U.S., right? And pretty much that's international. Well, what does that tell you? Okay, and you also got to look at it. You got to look at it like this, right? All of the MVPs that are MVP candidates right now, they are international. So what that tells you is that the international game is actually taking over in terms of how they're doing things. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of ties into what I'm talking about now when we talk about the fundamentals and how Kawhi Leonard was saying that there aren't any fundamentals in the game right now, and he's exactly right. Fundamentals are lost. Now, don't get me wrong. I like seeing athleticism. Everybody likes to, the majority of people, they like seeing high flyers and stuff. Say Easy Money, salute. Bro, you up early, putting in work. Yeah, always. Never stop, man. Always grinding, man. But salute to you, Easy Money. But the thing about it is a lot of people, they want to see a mixture of everything. We do want to see fundamentals. We do like to see, athleticism, of course, okay, both on offense and as well as defense. We do want to see, shooting. I like shooting, but okay, can you do more than that? Because I like Steph Curry. But see, the thing I do appreciate about Steph Curry, what a lot of you don't know, see, if you go back and you go look at Steph Curry when he played at Davidson, Steph Curry was not just pulling up from three and stuff like that. Steph Curry used to do a little bit of both, and he's done it with the Warriors too. So it kills me when people just say, "Oh, all he does is shoot threes. All he does is shoot threes." No, Steph does more than that. Okay, but I think that people are taking it way, way, way beyond. They're taking it way beyond context when we want to see a better product out on the floor. Okay, it's not to say that these guys aren't talented, but what guys want to see is, they don't want to see a 200 point All-Star game. You said Steph had a mid range. Yeah, absolutely. He had a mid range, and he still does. But everybody just think they're gonna of course they're gonna take it and they're gonna run with it. But I like that the fact that Charles Barkley, and I don't agree with everything that Charles Barkley said, especially the dumb stuff that he said in terms of people wearing a Trump shirt and stuff. Our people wearing a Trump shirt. I thought that was the most stupid thing. But the thing that you with Charles Barkley is that he's not going to bite his tongue whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Some people like that and some people don't. He does coon. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But I'm trying to take my mind off of that and focus on what he's trying to do in terms of the improvement of the NBA, because Charles Barkley is a Hall of Famer. Charles Barkley did play in that era, in which it was a physical era, it was a competitive era. He played during the '80s, during the time when there was a lot of parity. He played during the '90s too. Okay, and like I said, man, everybody talks about the '90s. I like the '80s, man. Okay, they played no defense in it era. I can't watch the NBA today. Well, this is the thing, Easy Money. I learned I learned to try to appreciate it. What keeps my balance, man, with everything is that's why guys like myself, like T Price, the brother James, couple of other guys, man. And I'm shouting these guys out so that you'll go check them out and you'll see what I'm saying. Shout out to Old Head Podcast. I pay attention to college too. Okay, if you go back and you go look at if we're in college right now, I watch college and I watch high school. If you notice at the high school ranks, they're starting to get back to playing defense. Like if you look at USC, the way they played yesterday when they played Texas A&M, CC, right? You see that both the people, I'm sorry about it, the girls that were on the starting lineup and everybody was on the bench, they are constantly playing defense because you're in college, you're fighting for something. If you're not, they're going to yank you out of there. When you get to the league or whatnot, it's like, okay, you're making millions of dollars and everything and making way more money than what you were in comparison to back in the days, especially with the changes with the CBA and everything. But the CBA has came down; they've cracked down, and Joe Dumars is starting to crack down and everything. But that's why I try to keep the balance, Easy Money, into watching both the high school as well as college, because they're actually playing defense. Now, it might not be as physical, of course, as back then, but I feel like, the effort and the hustle is there. Now, there are some teams in the NBA like that really, every possession, they seem like they're fighting, for something. You said, yes, they used to be on TV. I remember Johnson TV. NBA rules make it difficult to play defense. Well, this is my thing, right? You still have a sprinkle of guys out there that appreciate defense. Like, the reason why nobody really likes Derrick Brooks is because although Derrick Brooks does do some dirty stuff, but he's a defender, okay? The reason why nobody was really liking a guy like Patrick Beverly is because he's a dog. He's gonna get in your face. But what you have to realize is that there was a lot of guys that you played with a lot of guys in the NBA that played like that. When we always talk about the '90s and the '80s and stuff like that, and even the early 2000s, I think what often gets kind of swept under the rug is the early 2000s, because you got to realize they didn't stop, with the hand checking until later on. I think it was in two, like 2003, 2004, 5 or something like that. And then they got rid of zone defense and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But the early 2000s was still physical, and the late '90s and stuff like that. It was still quite physical. Not as physical as the '80s, in my opinion, but it was still quite physical. What's up with it, Ashley? I see you. How you doing, Queen? But I'm glad that he pressed Adam Silver. I think Charles Barkley is going to transition over. I think that's why he's working with Gail. I'm not a fan of Gail either. Gail King. I think she's an instigator. She gets a lot of stuff started. And I've heard a lot of things about her too as well. Not a big fan of her, but I wanted to see this just to hear what Adam Silver had to say. And he really can't give me any definitive reason. The only thing that he's talking about is, the money aspect and the trending aspect and stuff like that. No, what you need to do, man, and what people want to get out of this game is to get the game back to where it was. Like with the Kawhi Leonard situation, right? Kawhi Leonard came out on record and basically said fundamentals are lost in the NBA, and I completely agree with him. Adam Silver doesn't want to hear that. You said Thibault plays defense. Absolutely, absolutely. I like Thibault. I missed him on the Sixers. Pause, man. That guy, man. He was great on defense, and now you're seeing that loophole. But you're gonna like Ted. You're gonna see a sprinkle of guys. You're not gonna see every single guy because back in the days you had specialists. You had more specialists in the NBA. Now everybody. I mean, this can also be a beauty too, but also it could be a gift and a curse at the same time. Like Paul George was saying that everybody's skilled, everybody on every position for the most part is skilled. Everybody can shoot, everybody can dribble, everybody can pass and stuff like that. But you still need those guys. You need those specific guys that are just catered just to do one to two things. You know what I'm saying? Now you might have a guy on there like a Swiss Army knife that could pretty much do everything. Um, on the floor like a Pascal Siakam and everything, but you on the team, man, you really do need those specialists like you once did back in the day, or else you're just gonna have everybody just thinking that they could just pull up from three all the time. Now, what I'm liking about the Nuggets is that you see that balance. You see that balance. That's why the Nuggets are in my opinion, they're gonna win it again. Okay. You said I agreed. It's whomever can score the most and not play half the season. Very little defense and diversity. Absolutely. That's a good point, Ashley. And see the thing that I appreciate the most about this interview that was done uh, is the fact that they talked about the All-Star game. Okay, listen, man. Everybody has been. I know the All-Star game. It doesn't. It may not count for anything. It may not. It's not going to count as a real game or anything. But the All-Star game is something that the people that are true NBA fans, that are true basketball heads, that's something that they look forward to. Okay, on all levels. You look forward to the the high school all star game. You look forward to the even the college basketball all star games and stuff. And even like uh, before the season and stuff. You got the like the McDonald's All American games and the Jordan Classics and stuff like that. People look forward to those sort of things, but the NBA All Star Game is pretty much the cream of the crop where they get to see their favorite player. Everybody's not gonna like back in the days, everybody didn't like Michael Jordan, so they wanted to see their our favorite player go at it with this guy because some of these guys don't really play each other that much, and that's what they wanted to see. And just to put the stamp on what I'm about to say, the highlight that everybody wants to see, they want to see a good dunk contest. Okay, you said Eastern. I mean, play or talk on defense and transition. Yeah, that's right. East and West teams had conference pride. Jordan, Bird, Zeke, all on working together. Yeah, even if they necessarily didn't really too much care for each other. Like you heard stories about the whole freeze out game and stuff like that. But even if they necessarily didn't too much care for each other that much, the goal was still the same. Um, but I would like to see now. This is what I want to see next year. Okay, hopefully it happens, and I'm putting it out in the atmosphere. So, hey, you heard it here first. Well, some people have probably posed the idea, but let me say what I want to see next year, right? As far as the dunk contest, I would like to see these guys in there. Okay, I would like to see Zion Williamson. I would like to see Ja Morant, and I would like to see Anthony Edwards all compete. I think that would be monumental. Right? They had bragging rights over who won. Yeah, exactly. And the thing, listen, I know. Okay, guys like Anthony Edwards, he said that guys aren't really taking it serious, and some guys they may not want to get hurt, all this other stuff. I can kind of see that, you know what I'm saying, because the worst thing that you want to do is get hurt in the All-Star game, because then that's going in after the All-Star game, that's when you're gearing up for the playoffs. He said NBA Jam is my favorite game ever. NBA Jam. I actually used to play NBA Jam. I still, you know what? I like those games because there's a channel, man. There's a couple of channels that still show, like the NBA games from back in the days, like the live NBA live and NBA Jam, that sort of thing, man. I still look at that. I go back and it takes me back to my childhood. So I definitely agree with you on that. But for the most part, man, like, yes, it does need to change, and I'm glad Charles Barkley was able to get out there, able to press Adam Silver. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, I don't agree with everything that Charles Barkley says, but in this case right here, he was on the money in terms of pressing Adam Silver, to get some of those answers. Now, whether or not he's going to change it, that remains to be seen. Me myself personally, I would like Joe Dumars in place of Adam Silver as commissioner. Hey, that's wishful thinking, and we all know why. You say yes, that was my childhood. I played with whoever I like. Hey, Ashley, you was a video game head, huh? Hey, but you know what though? I'm gonna say this about girls, man. Listen, I learned my lesson. And this was later on in life, man. I think I was like, I had to be about like 21, 22 years old, man. So, man, that was one of my friends, man. She, okay, she would just sit and watch us because we would be sitting there, we would be playing whatever game it was. Like sometimes we play Madden, sometimes we'll play. Sometimes we will. At that time, they were kind of making the transition from live to 2K and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was live, and that's when they, of course, they had the Xbox 360, and you know what I'm saying. Then they were competing with, the PlayStation, stuff like that. They were kind of going at it. Some people didn't want to play Xbox, some people didn't want to play PlayStation, whatever. But we would always have like these tournaments and stuff like that, whether it was Madden, whether it was live, different games and stuff, right? But she would always sit and she would just criticize Ashley. She would just critique everybody. She'll be like, "Yeah, well, what you should have did, you should have chose the running play. I would have chose the running play as opposed to throwing the ball in that situation and stuff because you would have got." You would have been able to make the smarter play or something like that. And they're looking at her, they're like, yeah, whatever. They're rolling their eyes and stuff like that. They're like, man, you don't know anything. And this is a little small, short female, or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But she was extremely intelligent and everything. And so, okay, I think she was challenging one of the guys or whatever, and it got really into a heated argument or something like that. And the guy was like, you know what? Why don't you get on here and play and everything like that? She got on there, Ashley. She got on there. She got on there. I'm not even playing with you. And we had a rule that if you weren't within 20 points by the halftime, this was in when we played, Madden or whatnot. If you weren't within a certain amount of points, the game was over. She got on the game, Ashley and Ted, and guess what? She was blowing this guy out by like 30. It was like 30. I think he only scored like one touchdown. And she was just like doing everything as if she played the game all the time. And we're looking at every, and this is nothing but dudes in there. I think there was like maybe like one other female in there. And she was just sitting there laughing because that was her friend and stuff. And then I knew then, I was like, wow. I was like, dang, this is my money maker. I could actually hustle some people because I could be like, yeah, man, yeah, I got my girl here, you know what I'm saying? She's all right and everything. And just go there and then bust people's ass and stuff. But man, I learned, and I was like, I asked her, I said, how did you get so good in playing video games and stuff like that? And she said, well, I used to play, with my brothers and stuff like that because, she had brothers and stuff. And she said that, they wouldn't let me play and stuff like that. And so what she would do is like when they were asleep or something like that, she would get on there and, practice and stuff like that. But she also said this though, Ashley, and I learned this and I realized this. What you got to realize about the reason why, like a lot of women will be greater at stuff like video games is because women see more details. They see more details than a man. Nah, man. Hey, look, man. Hey, Ashley. See, a female sees stuff that a man doesn't. We could sit up there, like for instance, I've said this before. I said this a long time ago. If you go listen to my other content on my other channel, I'm sorry about that, on my other videos. Like we could clean up the whole house. We could clean up the whole entire house or wherever you live and stuff. And let's say you have a girlfriend, wife, whatever. The woman will come in and automatically be able to pick apart what you missed. And you'll be like, dang, I did everything that I could. But they're able to see intricate details that a man can't. That's how I learned football. And some of the plays out. Yeah, exactly. Right, the 21, yeah, 21 point rule. Yeah, you had to be, and with live, it was the same thing. With live, if you're not within a certain amount of points, uh, in the game, it's pointless of even playing. Because you're just sitting there wasting your time. Not unless, okay, sometimes it just depends on who's playing. Like if you're known to be a real good player or something like that, then okay, they'll make some exceptions or even throw out a little bit of money because they were betting and everything on that. Right? Yeah, y'all know how to read everything. It's even like with my daughter, she catches everything, even at her early age. Both my daughters, they catch everything because I was talking about yesterday when we were out and she'll notice some things and you should. She'll be like, Daddy, you're supposed to make a right, not a left, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And she's telling me that at like, 7 years old. But yeah, when, girls they see and women they see better details than a man. And that's why like you don't really see a lot of women making too many mistakes when they get on there, like like on the Call of Duties or different video games and stuff like that. Because I've talked to several people that play online and stuff, and they're like, man, this player was doing this and that, and they were like, well, she was a female. I was like, wow. You said 1 versus 1 game. I played all 4 quarters. I've come back down from 30. Wow. 30 down. But I also wanted. I'm gonna say this before I go ahead and I ride out. I wanted to talk about Bo for a minute. Now, Bo, man, he's sitting up there crying and complaining about the refs giving Wemby calls and stuff. As you know, Phoenix they played the San Antonio Spurs, and you know when Bo had came in, I still like his game, man. I always was fascinated by Bo. His problem was injuries, and he got limited opportunity because when they came out of Oregon, the one thing that really dropped him and dropped his draft stock was his health. Okay, because he was always injured in college. He had the talent. He got the size. He had the know-how. Of course, he was a natural defender in terms of a shot blocker because his late father, God rest his soul, to Manute Bol was a good shot blocker too as well. But he came out on record, man, and he basically was saying that the refs were pretty much they were dick riding um, Paul's Wemby because I guess he was trying to defend Wemby, and they called a call on him. Look, Bo, I'm gonna tell you this, man. You got to stop crying, man. Quit crying and get in the gym. You you're the reason why you're at where you're at, and you're not where you should be. Some people, let's just call it what it is. Some people had projected Bo to be much better than what he is now. Now that's not to say that he's still not talented or anything like that, but people were expecting him to be more like of Wemby's caliber, to be taking the league by storm like he was. Now I will say this: he didn't get that much. He got limited opportunity in Denver, but it was probably because he was injury prone. It was probably because he was injury prone. But I mean, you can't sit there and be making excuses and be like, oh man, man, you know what that sounds like is that you're real jealous, man. Now you pulling the DJ Vlad on Shannon Sharp type of deal. You sound you sound you sound like you sound like a bitch. I'm just being real with you, okay? For real, man. You sound like a salty ass crybaby. Yeah, he has his mindset. And you know what? You couldn't have said that. See, Ted coming out of high school when he played, he played a little ball with Sharif O'Neal and them. But man, coming out of high school, man, I thought that this guy, man, I used to like that dude's game. I used to like him, and I like Imani Bates. I like both of them guys, man. Watching them guys, and I thought that them guys were gonna just now. Imani Bates, man, he's doing doing some big things and stuff. I can't wait until he really starts progressing and everything. But Bo, man, everybody thought that he was gonna be Wemby before we saw Wemby and for him to sit up there and say, "Oh yeah, well, you dig riding Wemby," you're just jealous. You jealous because Wembyama is coming in. He's not getting injured. Okay, if he does get hurt, guess what? He bounces right back. Okay, but with you, you came into the league getting hurt. You were hurt when you were over there at Oregon. You know, listen, I know stuff happens. I know injuries are a part of the game and everything, but you can't sit up here being salty on Wemby's grind. Everybody is so jealous of Wemby, and I don't even know why. Even his own teammates are jealous of him. Okay, and you can see it on the court. Yeah, man, the guy is gifted. It's a blessing to have a guy like that on your squad. That's 7'4", that can run up and down the floor just as fast as a 6'5" or 6'6" guard. Okay, and is able to play both ends of the floor, all right, for the most part, and he wants to learn and he wants to get better. How many guys do you know that? How many guys do you see like that? You don't see very many guys. I'm talking about at that young age. What do you hear about a lot of these young guys that come in? Let's talk about Zion when he first came in, all right? His eating habit. Now, I'm talking about Zion when he first came in, his eating habits. You know, didn't really want to play that much. You know what I'm saying? Always getting hurt. Joel Embiid, you know what I'm saying? He had a problem with his conditioning. Stayed hurt. Ben Simmons, when he came in, stayed hurt. You know what I'm saying? Wemby is coming in and he wants to work and he wants to get better. He's talking to veterans. Yeah, the media's covering him and everything like that, but he's really just a normal guy. Even Stacks has said this. Steven Jackson has said that all he likes to do is just casually just sit down and read books and stuff. But on the court, he's got a killer. He's got a killer mindset. Right, and all he's doing is playing. I don't know if he even pays the jealous side with any attention. Well, no, he doesn't. Because the only person that he really needs to be worried about is Greg Popovich. Okay, Greg Popovich, which I know he's kind of on his way out, but I know he's spilling his knowledge into Wemby's brain. You know what I'm saying? Wemby's picking his brain right now while he can until Popovich goes. He transitions to wherever he's going to transition. I imagine it would probably be in the front office. Somewhere. I think that's where he would be a perfect fit. But he's definitely going to have a voice when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs, because let's just call it what it is. Nobody really even pays attention to the Spurs, and if they do pay attention to the Spurs, it's because they're forced to, because they're in the championship. Now I do, and maybe Ted does, and maybe Ashley does, because you're not a casual. You actually know the game. But for the casual fans, they don't want to watch the Spurs. But now they got a guy in Wembyama who's entertaining to watch, and not only he can play the Spurs brand of basketball, but he also can play that. He has individuality too as well, sort of like what David Robinson had did. Yeah, Tim Duncan and David Robinson, and those guys are culture guys. Now, the knock on David Robinson was sort of the same thing that Bo is kind of experiencing, but not so heavily. Um, David Robinson did start, getting some injuries and stuff like that, but it's still a team game. Tim Duncan had came in there, you know what I'm saying, and they made the second coming of the Twin Towers and everything, and the rest is history and stuff. Um, because you got to think, a lot of people forget that David Robinson got two rings. That's what people forget. David Robinson got two rings. I hope people understand that. David Robinson got a ring in '99, and he was on that roster in '03 too. A lot of people forget that he didn't play that much. He only averaged like 5.8 points or something like that. But he got two rings. Because I had an argument with a guy. He said, man, David Robinson only got one ring. He got two rings. You said Avery Johnson slept on. So is Elliott. Yeah, Sean Elliott. Sean Elliott was still putting up double figures. Um, even after the whole, the kidney issue. Yeah, man. I used to like watching Sean Elliott too, man. I used to like watching that, and I always wondered, like, what happened? What happened to Sean Elliott and stuff? But that's when my mom had explained everything to me that was going on with them and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't really even. I mean, she paid attention to sports because I did and everything, but I was wondering what happened to Sean Elliott, man, because he was a good scorer, man. The dude could hoop, man. But yeah, man, Bobo need to quit crying, man. Matter of fact, man, you don't hear about Wemby sitting up there paying stacks for IG models and stuff like that, having flying them out and stuff like that. But Bobo, that's what you doing. You worried about females and stuff like that. Which I mean, you a man. You're gonna, you a young man. That's what you're gonna do. Focus on getting healthy and staying healthy and establishing yourself in the league. Sean Elliott could do it all. You forgot about who, Ash? Who'd you forget about, Queen? You talking about Sean Elliott or Bobo? But yeah, Bobo need to stop crying, man. That and see, that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with a lot of these guys. You jealous of another guy because he's coming in and he's getting all the accolades. That's what it is. You're not jealous of no ref call or nothing like that. You jealous because you like Eddie Kane from the Five Heartbeats. That used to be me. You know what I'm saying? That's what you is. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Sean Elliott. Yeah, he was. Yeah, him and Alonzo Mourning, man, they took the biggest hits in their career, because of their health. You know what I'm saying? But they were still able to come back, still able to get a ring and be champions, and that's what you wanted. As well as Grant Hill, even though Grant Hill was more. But see, people forget that Grant Hill almost died too. Let's not forget Grant Hill could have. Grant Hill, man, he could not listen. There was a chance when Grant Hill, because of an infection that they caught early, regarding his ankle, I think it was. Man, Grant Hill would not be here today if they would not have caught that in time. Yeah, yeah, man, he did. He did, man, and that's what I had to realize. And it's a lot of guys, man, that go through that. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about, look, man, and if you are sub to my fitness channel too as well, and like I said, I've been busy with some other things. Like I said, I have. If you don't know the reason why I've kind of taken just a little bit of time on the fitness channel and stuff is because I got my kids and they're doing their sports and stuff like that. And I was trying to get my son acclimated in a new sport because he had never played basketball this season, but he actually liked basketball. But he was more into baseball. Now his season is done. He ended up winning a medal, got his first MVP and everything. So he was actually starting to like it. And then I got my daughter, who she was playing basketball at the same time, and then also both of them was wanting to do soccer too as well. And so I'm trying to get them acclimated with everything. But with the health thing, listen, man, go get your organs checked, okay? Because you really don't know. Like Hannah Storm or whatever, okay? Hope she gets better, man. Prayers up for a legend in media, man, Hannah Storm. And look, I don't get into that black white stuff, man. Hannah Storm was somebody I grew up on and I grew up watching. I never heard any bad stuff about her. So, but prayers up for her, man, and her family, because I lost an auntie to breast cancer, and we lost a friend of the family to breast cancer too as well. Okay, but we also had a couple people that them beat breast cancer. But to get back to what I was saying, basically, man, is go get in the get your ass in the doctor. Okay, there ain't no ways around it. All right, I don't want to be all put it in layman terms and no shit like that. Go get this check, go get that checked or anything like that. Look, just get in the doctor. Go get your annual done. Go get your physical done, man. Go get your blood check. Go get your You said I am a Grant Hill stan. One of my yeah, Paul Pierce almost died. Yeah, but that was from yeah, that was from him being stabbed though, Chad. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, he almost died. His ankle and the knee kept him from achieving more. Yeah, man. And Hannah is a real one. Now with Grant Hill, him and Penny Hardaway, man. I mean those are up there as far as the saddest stories. I think Penny is more sad than anything. I feel like I feel like with what Penny had did, Penny does have a case for the Hall of Fame. Look, if you talking about putting Stephon Marbury and you're endorsing for Stephon Marbury, you ought to put Penny Hardaway in the Hall of Fame. I'm just being real because he had the numbers early on in his career. He had the numbers, but I don't know, man. I'm just looking at that, you know what I'm saying? Because Penny Hardaway had made it. He was getting deep into the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? And even made it to the finals too. So he does have a case, man. But besides that, man, it's been good chopping it up with y'all. I just wanted to scream at y'all for a little bit, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button and sub to the channel too if you're not a member, and also hit them notifications so that you're able to get all of my content too as well. All right. Until then, salute to the whole entire Lions Den, both basketball as well as boxing communities. It's straight to the point. Hannah is one of the first women on sports, especially on the inside store. Yeah, prayers up for Hannah Storm, man. She's tremendous. She's able to do a lot of stuff too. She not only did basketball and sports stuff, she also was able to cross over and do some other stuff. It really showed her versatility. So yeah, y'all have a good Sunday, man. Y'all be safe out there. Y'all be blessed, and I'll be talking with y'all later. All right.